So What's Plus was set up 7 years ago now with the intention to support young people living in the Scottish Borders who are not in education, employment or training. We really aim to increase young people's confidence as they come through the programme and help them and equip them to have the tools that they need to take positive steps forward in their lives, really.
So we do provide one-to-one support, but mainly what we do is 8-week employability courses. What we believe is that things like trauma, mental health, poverty, digital divide can all affect people's ability to enter into the labour market. So what we do a little bit differently is we try to tackle all of these barriers, which will then hopefully help people into the labour market more easily.
83 or 84% of people that come through the programme have something positive to move on to by the end of the 8 weeks. We then kind of follow that up with 18 months of aftercare, a minimum of 18 months aftercare, where we check in regularly and just make sure that everything's going all right. And if there are any sort of bumps in the road on the journey, then we're there to kind of help iron them out, really.
And I think that ensures sustained positive outcomes for our young people, because a positive outcome's fine, but if it's not lasting, then there's no point, because then they'll just be back at square one. So I think that aftercare can really help, particularly for those who are in employment, and it can sort of allow us to support them throughout that time.
It's quite unusual, I think, living in the Borders, in the fact that we are surrounded by this beautiful countryside and these rolling hills. But just because we've got all that round about us doesn't mean to say that people are struggling here as well. It's getting people a job is the easy bit. It's tackling all the other bits, all the barriers that kind of go round about it that is difficult. And I think we're lucky in the fact that we have time to actually sit down and get to know the young people that come through the door. And we really pride ourselves on that. We kind of meet people where they're at and walk at a pace that's comfortable for them.
Ideally, within the next 5 years, we would like to see more coordinated place-based support for young people.
To support young people to kind of thrive locally, basically, rather than forcing them to leave. And that's what they want to do, really. Lots of young people come through the programme, want to get a job, but the sole purpose of getting a job is to save up enough money to get out of the Borders. I'd like to be part of that change. If we can entice people to stay, that would really benefit society and the local community hugely. It would make a massive difference, I think.
It's more about the soft outcomes that we see. So the sort of difference between people starting our 8-week courses to who they are when they graduate can be like such a massive, massive change. And they're sort of, they can start off quite anxious, and then by the end they're...
Yeah, and we track that all the way through the 8-week programme. And I would say probably 8 out of 10 people follow that standard kind of change curve. They start off generally at a fairly low point, and then once they realise they've got a whole lot of stuff that they need to do well with us, it sometimes dips a little bit. And then once we start unpicking the knots, things generally go up, and by the time they leave the programme, they're up here somewhere. You'll notice our Works Plus logo does take that shape, and that's to reflect that change curve as the young people go through the 8-week programme. I think one of my favourite bits is just bumping into people in the supermarket. I can do my shopping with my family, and maybe I'll bump into someone that I'd supported 18 months ago, 2 years ago, and they make a point of coming across and saying hello and saying thank you, and they can look me in the eye because they have the confidence to do that now. Whereas on day 1 of the 8-week programme, they were sort of sitting shaking in the corner and a bit nervous and a bit twitchy and stuff. But they come across and say hello and shake my hand and say thanks very much for everything you did. And I skip round Asda. So but after that, feeling 10 feet tall, it's an amazing feeling. I'm really lucky and really privileged to be part of it.